they need to take advantage of this opportunity for them to continue to drive forward and make sure to, catch up with the scoreboard.
Coach, you know what St. Louis has, on offense, but name me one or two players on Punahou quickly that can turn the tide here.
First one comes to mind is Alakai Gilman. Alakai Gilman is the all-purpose player inside the box and playing as a defender.
And Taliulu gets past the first tackle there. Got 3. Forward progress may give him 4. And now St. Louis looking to salt that clock away as we're under 5 minutes now. And it's those small plays. We'll check it out here, Coach, where Punahou could have got him in the backfield.
Yeah, here just missed tackles, but legend Maltaltia there as he's been there all night in the center of that Punahou defense. They need a stop. Let's see if the defense can rise to the occasion.
Punahou, their defense, who averaging under 10 points, giving up this whole season. No doubt about it, their biggest defensive series of the year. 4:22 left is Taliulu again, and he is spilled in the backfield. Kananiko was there. Tafiti got initial penetration, but again, those 11 players that can flow through the ball personified on this play.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Kananiko playing on that defensive end side. I mean, they crashing down. They know St. Louis is probably just going to run the ball, run the clock. So they're selling out on this. Big third down.
Yes, no doubt about it. 3rd down and 4 as the clock now at 3:51 and counting down. Delora here. Steps up into the pocket. He has all day to throw. It's Roman Wilson. Wilson 35. Wilson steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line here. They needed 4. They get 20 before Jonah Henry pushes him out of bounds.
And that's the masteration of Delora. A lot of people thought he was probably going to tuck it and run it, maybe be short of the first down, but he saw Wilson there in the flats and just hit him. Smart play by Delora.
Coach, you're mentioning how Punahou was so disciplined on those rushing lanes throughout the whole night. Siopele Uluave gave him that avenue on the outside, and it contributed. As it's going to be Delora here. Delora calling his own number. Baseball slide down here. And a late penalty flag thrown just to add things to the twist here. And you see Gilman. We haven't mentioned a lot from Alakai Gilman here tonight. Credit St. Louis on that.
Yeah, he was right there, John, in a spot. Smart call by Delora. Just know he had nowhere to go. Just took the slide. Saved himself for another play.
No doubt about that here. And they're giving options to Kaleane. They're asking Coach Ane, do you want to decline this? It's 1st and 10 here. Both teams with 3 timeouts. 3:34 left. And this is why the coaches get paid the big bucks. Well, I don't know that for sure, Coach.
Yeah. So do you take the 2nd down and 11, or do you pin them back, 1st and
Holding.
a distance,
On
right?
the offense, that penalty is declined. 2nd down. Holding was on number 3.
So right now with 3:34, he's going to decline it. We want the time. We don't need the yardage. He's banking on his defense as they've been all night playing tough D.
Yep, and probably a really good call there from the veteran coach Kaleane here. They are looking for 2 more stops here from the white jerseys. 3:17 left here in the contest. Delora, again, 4 receivers. Kamakavivo Ole alone setback. He's able to pick up the block. Fires downfield. Wilson probably could have had that. Silva ended up getting a paw on it. And it, for almost a split second, was precariously in the air. Punahou maybe had an opportunity for a tip drill pick.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic here of St. Louis, in which you see 2 receivers in the same area. I agree with you, Ryan. I thought he was going for Wilson, and Silver just put up his left paw, brought it down. But one good thing about that play for Punahou, it stopped the clock.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 11. Biggest play of the year here for the Buff and Blue. Wilson from the seat of his pants. That should be enough for the 1st down, and a backbreaker there if you're a Punahou fan. Gilman was there on the stop, but he was there a second too late.
Yeah, what an excellent route by Roman Wilson. I mean, with his speed, all he does is he pushes off, drives the corner back, just takes a quick out, secures the catch, and stayed in bounds.
Now timeouts will be a factor here. 2:45 left. Punahou has all 3 timeouts. 2:39, 2:38. Play clock under 9 seconds. Delora will receive the snap. And it's going to be Taliulu. Taliulu headbangs his way there. Tafiti had it in front of the ankles. And they're going to whistle the play dead here after a gain of 1. And now let's see if they're going to call timeout. Yes, Kaleane will call the first out of his allotted 3 timeouts
Their
here.
first charge,
Dylan
timeout.
Lundberg, maybe the first time we mentioned his name here tonight with the stop. And as both teams go back to the sidelines, we'll keep it right here. Heel. This is such a huge play. Tell us about the Punahou defense here. They need at least 2 more stops.
I think they need to their key players to step up. You know, they really need to get the ball for on this next play, as to you know, to get to their offense so they can get those points to dominate it, to get the game, the end of the game.
You know, Hugh, I remember, you know, a couple weeks ago, you're a big fan of Tevarua Tafiti, the sophomore on defense. We haven't heard a lot from Tafiti here tonight.
Yeah, that's right. We, you know, I haven't heard from him. You know, I guess he's just, you know, where the ball is at, and you know, his position and where he's at the same time. So, yeah, he was just doing really, really good the last game.
2:29 left here, 2nd down and 9, and coach, it's really coming down to 2 plays here for Punahou on defense.
Yeah, and you know, Cal Lee's telling his players, hold on to the ball. As you saw the last play, you know, Punahou was standing up the running back, trying to cause the strip. So you know that's what they're going for. They're going for the ball. They're going for the strip. All they need to do is just hold on to the ball. No turnovers.
Double tight formation here, double wing. Single setback is Nishigaya on the stretch play. Nishigaya there gets away from Matautia, and then Gilman wraps him up here after a gain of 3. 2:20 left, 2:19, and finally they will stop the clock. Punahou second timeout will be used.
Punahou.
Hio, let's check out
Their
this
second
play here on
charge
the replay.
timeout.
Yeah, great handoff, and you know, it looks like number 43 there trying to, you know, and then ended with Gilman there, number 11, to make the stop.
Yeah, coach. Again, now it's going to be a 3rd down situation, 3rd and 6, a 3rd and medium type of situation. You don't know if it's a pass. You don't know if it's a run. Do you go for the turnover? A lot of things for Punahou to think of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things for Punahou to think of. They knowing that right now, if St. Louis gets the first down, this game is over. But I like what St. Louis is doing. They're saying, you know what? We need the ball. And who they hand it off to? Their most sure-handed player, Nishigaya. 2 hands on the ball. We know he's not going to cough over the ball. So it'll be interesting to see right now, do they force Punahou to take their last time out, punt it, pins them real deep, and put the best defense in the state back on the field to ice the game.
You know, over the past several years, Stadium Star Sports have covered, all the championship games here at Lowe's Stadium. And a lot of times, a ILH, OIA, or even a state championship has to be determined on clock usage. We'll see what St. Louis does here, Coach. Double wing formation, 2 tight ends. Nishigaya, the lone setback. Wilson in motion. They're going to toss it to the opposite side, stringing out the defense. And look at that leg drive there. He is going to be shy of the first down. In fact, did they get him out of bounds?
Yeah, and that's the one thing good about Punahou. Well coached, well smart. They held them up, going for the strip, but also pushing them out of bounds to stop the clock. So a nice free timeout. They tried to get Nishigaya out on the edge, hoping that Punahou was going to pinch. But Punahou is such a disciplined, well-coached defense.
2:12 left here, 4th down and 5, and indeed the clock stops. So Punahou still has their final timeout in the back pocket. Base defense still on the field. St. Louis offense still on the field. St. Louis, no sign of the punting unit. Now they're going to take this down to
timeout.
0 seconds on
St.
the play
Louis,
clock, and
their
Cal
first
Lee
charge
will use his
timeout.
first out of 3 timeouts. So the chess match is on, folks. Battle of minds, and possibly giving the opportunity for the Punahou coaching staff to think, would St. Louis go for it here? Sometimes when you have a 35-game winning streak, it may be a matter of pride here for the biggest and the baddest in the 808.
Yeah, he wants to impose his will. how he wants. So it'll be interesting to see coming out of this timeout. Do they go for it, or do they punt it and put their defense back on the field? That's the question right now, but nobody's going to question Cowley either way. I mean, he's been here, done that. He's the best of them. So let's see what he dials up.
You know, I think a lot of people would think that, you know, coaches who have been here for a long time, the so-called, you know, you have your new age coaches who can diversify offenses and so forth. Cowley has been having 3-4 stints at St. Louis, but he has rolled the dice probably as much as anyone. Between these two teams, you have to go back a couple years back when Tua Tagovailoa as a senior in a game in which St. Louis ultimately won 66-44. A game in which Punahou was dominating up to the third quarter. It was a 4th-and-1 play at their own 30-yard line, and somehow they decided to go with Tagovailoa from their own 30-yard line on a quarterback boot, and it was all she wrote from there. Somehow he knows how to seize the moment.
Timeout.
And
St. Louis.
And what is interesting here is that they're going to take their second timeout, back-to-back timeout. So, I mean, he's really thinking, you know, are we going to go for it? He's talking to his players. He's in the middle of them, maybe asking them, you know, how much do you guys want it? Is this something that we can do?
what a luxury. Most coaches will already have the decision made up for their players here, but sometimes you're on these grand positions in which you can go to a bunch of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds and say, hey, guys, what do you want to do? And when you want 35 in a row, sometimes you won't have a sleepless night giving the keys to the Ferrari to your 17-year-old. You see the score there, 21-14. St. Louis here, essentially 5 yards or so away here from victory number 36 in a row, another ILH title, and punching their ticket for a November 22nd matchup against Mililani here at Aloha Stadium. We'll see here. Again, they're going to go with double tight. Wilson, one-on-one coverage against...
They might pooch it, maybe.
That is a possibility there.
Oh,
Nishigaya. They're going to throw it here. First down, it's Sykes. Sykes 20-15. And the Saints go marching on.
What a call by Cowley. What a call.
We have seen it on a few occasions in this contest, Coach. They go with the double tight end and leaving their two big play receivers on either side of the ball on one-on-one situations. That's why Cowley is the master.
And that's why, I mean, what a call. I mean, one-on-one, 6'2", UCLA committing Sykes, beating coverage.
One timeout left, 1:47 seconds, or a minute 47 seconds left here in the contest. 5 seconds on the play clock. Delora will be snapping this to Nishigaya. Nishigaya there. He met an avalanche in the form of the legend, Matatia there.
The third and final timeout.
Yeah, what a call, what a play. Now they got to take their last timeout here. I think Matatia came in untouched. Yep, he came in untouched. Probably one of his easiest tackles of the night.
But most importantly, Kuali Nishigaya at 5'6", a buck, whatever, held on to the ball there. Legend Matautia coming full speed at 6 feet, 240 pounds. You do the math, folks. What a play there by Nishigaya. It's those small plays, right, Coach, in which it makes all the difference.
Yeah, and right now, too, just holding on to the ball. You know, going down, holding on to the ball. Second down, do the math, Ryan. Going down, 40-second play clock.
I know you gave me a couple math lessons here on air, and I don't want to say the results. I'm not even going to mention what school I come from, but hey, it is what it is. Basically, if you're a Punahou fan, you're going to have to really think of a near miracle here on how to strip the ball, how to get the turnover. Will St. Louis commit a penalty? And you can see Cowley, rarely you see him in the huddle. Their whole team is right at the Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union Field logo, imploring his team about ball security, I'm sure.
Yeah, and most importantly, stay in bounds if anything. Unlike the series before, you know, Nishigaya was able to go out of bounds.
And Delora decides to call his own number there, pushing the pile forward for a couple yards. The yardage, maybe the downs, is inconsequential at this point. We're under 90 seconds. Hio, let's check out this replay.
Yep, it looks like, you know, with Delora trying to, you know, take that into the to the middle, and there was just too many white shirts there, you know, stopping him in the middle there.
And looked like they're just trying to minimize the ball changing hands from quarterback to running back. So he's just sneaking it right up the middle. Minimize the chance of a turnover.
56 seconds left here in the contest, and now it's going to be 4th down. So as you mentioned, the 40-second clock is wound up. There is a difference of 14 seconds now between the play clock and the game clock. The game clock at 42, 41, 40. They're going to have to snap this ball. Punahou will get the ball, but will they get it with down 2 scores or 1 score? That is the question. The St. Louis kicking game, much maligned throughout the season. Many missed field goals, many missed extra points. I don't think I see any kickers on the field. St. Louis will most likely use their last timeout here. And in fact,
Timeout. St. Louis, the 3rd and final timeout.
it was the senior quarterback, Jaden Delora, talking to Robert Victor, imploring for a timeout here. So 12 seconds left. If they go for the field goal and they're able to put it through the uprights, it's game over. It's a 2-possession lead. If they do not get the score, Punahou will have to go nearly the whole football field in order to put themselves in a position to tie or maybe even win this.
But probably what Cowley's also thinking is, just before the half, we was even closer. We couldn't convert on our own field goal there. You know, do we risk the special teams getting a block, return to the house? We're already on the 14-yard line. Do we just try and run a play and then put our defense on, and all we have to do is hold them for one play, just nothing deep? So offense with Delora is back on the field. So if you roll the dice out on the 40-yard line, why not at the 14?
It may be one of those situations they may go to Sykes or Wilson in the back of the end zone. If he missed far and wide, that's an incomplete. Not much of a worry there. Wilson has one-on-one coverage here. As you see, Delora under center, and it's going to be Nishigaya bouncing towards the outside, and he is stopped on the 17-yard line now. Turnover on downs. 8 seconds left.
Number 43's
no
helmet
timeouts.
Punahou came off by rule. He needs to sit out 1 play.
Yeah, you're looking at probably one play here.
2 plays, maybe even a stretch here at this point. And if you're new to the high school game, a first down will result in some clock stoppage for the chain gang to set up. But it's going to be a tall order. Even for college teams, it's a very tall order here. If St. Louis feels that somehow they're going to get beat, they can always use the pass interference to their advantage. It will only be 15 yards. Any which way you stretch it, ladies and gentlemen, in order for Punahou to get into a situation here, it will be a near miracle. The freshman, John Calvi Sangapolutele, 4 receivers on one side. He looks that way and finds Kiana Karis. Takes a step out of bounds, 3 seconds left, and now they are 79 yards away from a miracle. Let's check it out here, Coach.
Yeah, here it looked like all they wanted to do was just get some yardage back, and they did. Cut the field now, like you said, it's about 79, 78 yards to go, and this is it.
Well, you see Latu, he's the deepest defender for St. Louis. You do not see him on his screen. He is 20 yards downfield. Sangapolutele, 4-man rush. He's going to let it fly. And nowhere you see white shirts in the area. And the St. Louis Crusaders will be the Alex representative in the D1 Open State Football Tournament. Coming up November 22nd, they'll be facing Mililani. And in the other semifinal matchup, Coach Carvalho, your Kahuku Red Raiders will be facing the Campbell Sabres. Your thoughts of tonight's contest?
I think Punahou did an exceptional job coming out in the second half. Who would have known that this would have been as close as it was with the dominance of the first half of St. Louis? So hats off to Punahou. Unfortunately, the way the format is, seems like we're leaving one of the best teams who should be in the States out of the state tournament.
No, that's always a topic of conversation when it comes to April, May, or June in that HIADA directors meeting. And with that, Cowley, his 45th victory all-time against Punahou. He is 93-11-1 versus ILH teams when he gets to face them the second time. That may be the most staggering statistic. Hio, your thoughts of this contest here, a close victory for St. Louis.
Yeah, you know, it's really good with, like what Coach was saying, you know, with the Punahou, you know, with their effort, you know, try to come into this game to, you know, to win. But unfortunately tonight, you know, there's only one team that will come out, you know, victoriously. But, you know, good on St. Louis. They're going to go on to the 22nd with Mililani. And, you know, good luck on Coach on their game coming up.
Thank you.
Too.
Oh, no doubt about that. And, you know, victory number 294 here for Cowley could probably be one of his toughest in his career. And kudos to Coach Kaleane and the Punahou coaching staff again. They bring back a lot of firepower led by the freshman quarterback, John Calvi Sagapolutele.
Yeah, so the future is bright for Punahou. Unfortunately, they don't have a junior varsity team, so a lot of their underclassmen are having these moments, these reps here on the varsity level that you wouldn't get if they were playing JV. So a lot of people saying, you know, how much it maybe could hurt the program. Maybe at this, being in this type of game, they can build off of this experience and have this opportunity to get better for the future.
No doubt about it. And I think for people who is worried about the parity in Hawaii high school sports or in the game of football, I think Punahou is going to be a more than a willing challenger here against the St. Louis Crusaders. But for St. Louis, 36 in a row. Number 1 in the state. They're number 6 nationally. That ranking could go up here. At this point, it doesn't matter here for Cowley and the coaching staff. They are looking for their, what could be their 7th open tournament title here.
And their 4th in a row.
And their 4th in a row. Going back to, it's almost like turning back the clock, right, with Cowley and the dynasty. But we have Campbell, Kahuku, and Mililani here as the combatants here to dethrone the mighty Saints.
And if they come out victorious, the road that they have to go through, very unfortunate. They have to go through the number 2 OIA and also another OIA. So the road is not easy for St. Louis as well.
No doubt about that. Now we want to thank our Aloha Vision production crew here for a spectacular broadcast. For Jaime Miranda Molina, Pio Pelesasa, the coach Sterling Carvalho. I'm Ryan Agano here with the final score. St. Louis 21, Punahou 14. This has been a presentation of Aloha Stadium Star Sports.